The body of OPP Constable Pierzchala will make the journey to his hometown of Barrie today. A procession to honor the officer killed in the line of duty is set to leave here in Toronto. Here's a live look outside of the Centre for Forensic Sciences. Let's listen in. We've been looking at live pictures of the procession for fallen officer Constable Pierzchala. We were looking at pictures outside of the Centre of Forensic Sciences of several first responders, paramedics, fire, police officers saluting their fellow officer. Let's go live to CTV's Siobhan Morris for more on the procession and what we can expect later today. Siobhan.
Well, Jamie, it was a really solemn moment as an officer invited everybody gathered here to raise their hand and to salute Officer Pierzchala as the procession carrying his body made its way out of a garage here at the coroner's court. It will be traveling now, of course, up the 400 to his hometown of Barrie, about an hour away. And we'll see what we have seen far too often the last few months, people lining overpasses along that route or along highways across Ontario after an officer has been killed in the line of duty. Now, here we saw members of Toronto Police, Toronto Paramedics, Toronto Fire, members of the OPP, of course, a member of the service that Greg Pierzchala, that's the service Greg Pierzchala was a member of. We saw all these people wanting to give him a send-off, one they feel is important. They understand, of course, the job that he was doing, the job he dreamed of doing since he was just a boy. We did hear from Fire Chief Matthew Pegg about why it was important for him to be here today.
I'm honored to be here alongside 4 of our crews and some of our senior officers for no other reason than to pay our respects. And these, you know, this young officer is one of the police officers that every single day get up and put their uniforms on and come to work as our guardians and our protectors. And they are committed to keeping us safe, and they do every day. And when something as tragic and terrible as this happens, the least we can do is be here to pay our respects to not only our police colleagues, but certainly to the family and friends and all those that have been impacted.
The procession carrying Pierzchala's body is now headed north on Highway 400 to Barrie. That process should take about an hour, and we will see again those tributes on overpasses over Highway 400. We are expecting a funeral for Constable Greg Pierzchala on Wednesday, the 4th of January. I'll send it back to you, Jamie.
And Siobhan, there's so many things about this tragedy that makes it just so sad. You know, you talked about the fact that Constable Pierzchala always dreamed about being a police officer, and we recently found out that he had just passed his 10-month probation, was just granted the ability to patrol independently. It just makes this all that more sad. He was just starting his career.
Really crushing. This was a dream he'd had since the age of 5 and had done everything in his power to line things up. I talked to a former wrestling coach of his this week who said he'd been discouraged. He'd applied to some other police services and been turned down, but was really determined to make this dream happen for himself, so just kept going. And it's that perseverance that so many people that have been close to him really respected. They respected in him, and they talk about him being such a kind soul, a gentle soul, and so somebody who is missed not just in policing, but in his personal life as well.
CTV's Siobhan Morris, we appreciate the update. Thank you.